Hey everyone, welcome back to IT Samurai Teacher. Today I'm thrilled to bring you another exciting video on how to install Nextcloud on your Raspberry Pi 5. But this time we are doing it with Docker. If you have been following my channel, you might remember that I created a few months ago where I show you how to set up Nextcloud on Ubuntu server running on Raspberry Pi 5. If you missed that, make sure to check that one out. I'm going to put that link on my description field on this video. So in this video, I'll show you a new way to get Nextcloud up and running, sticking to the familiar and optimized Raspberry Pi OS. You can see I'm not going to install anything. I'm just sticking it with the original Raspberry Pi OS for Raspberry Pi 5. Okay, so just don't install any operating system. So let's go with the default operating system. We're going to use Docker to make the installation easier, more manageable, and perfect for those of you who want a flexible and scalable setup. And if that's not enough, I'm using NVMe drive. You can see I am booting my Raspberry Pi OS with NVMe drive, which give us incredible speed boost compared to standard SD cards or USB drives. This is just the beginning. I have plans to create a series of videos showing different methods to install Nextcloud on your Raspberry Pi 5. So you can choose the one that suits your needs best, from the lightweight simplicity of Docker to more advanced configuration, all covering all. One of the things that excited me the most is showing you how to access your Nextcloud from outside your local network. So everyone emailing me how to access outside from the network, because we always use the local network, right, from home. But what if you want to go outside and access your Nextcloud, your Raspberry Pi? In this series, I'll guide you step by step on how to set up a remote access, ensuring that you can securely connect to your private cloud no matter where you are, which country you are. So you able to remotely access your Nextcloud for your Raspberry Pi. I'll make sure it's straightforward without getting into too many technical details. Perfect for beginners and those who want a clean, hassle-free setup. So make sure to stick around till the end of the video, because by the time we are done, you have a solid private cloud that you can access both at home or on the go. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Raspberry Pi contents. Let's jump in for our project. Alright, let's get started with our Raspberry Pi 5 running Raspberry Pi OS. Before we do anything else, it's crucial to ensure our system is fully up to date. Let's open our terminal and we're going to type sudo apt get update, and I'm going to say sudo apt get upgrade -y. Oh, you know what, did I because of my mic I cannot see my keyboard. Upgrade y. So I already run several times upgrade, so that's why I just quickly finish. If you're doing first time, it takes some time to upgrade. Cool. So once your system is actually, let me explain you the command I use, right? If you know, that's fine. If you don't know, it's good. So these commands updates the list of available packages and install the latest version of any installed packages. It keeps your system secure and optimized. So once your system is updated, we are ready to install the Docker, which will handle the Nextcloud setup in a container environment. Let's move on the Docker installation. Okay, let's I'm trying to, so Docker is a powerful tool that simplifies software installation by using containers. We'll use a single command to get Docker installed. Sometimes the command get changed, so always check. I'm going to put this code command also in my description field, so you can grab that. HTTPS. So now we need to use that link get.docker.com. I'm going to use 0, actually get docker sh get docker.sh. Let's see. So this downloads the Docker installation script from Docker's official website and runs it. It's installed Docker on your system. Now it's downloading. Okay, you can see in here client Docker engine community. We can see the version, PA version. Then looks good. So Docker engine community, API version, perfect. Everything looks perfect to me. Okay, so now we know Docker is installed. So once the Docker is installed, let's make sure it starts automatically every time Raspberry Pi boots up. Okay, so we're going to type sudo systemctl. We're going to enable Docker. So this enables Docker to start on boot, ensuring it's always running whenever you start your Raspberry Pi. Yes, so I can see everything looks good. Enable Docker. Let's go to the next one. Okay, next thing we're going to type is, before that I want to tell you that I did it. I forget to hit that record button, so that's why I went back. So next thing we need to avoid the typing sudo every time we run a Docker command, right? Every time when we run a Docker command, we need to type sudo. So we need to avoid that. So let's add our user to the Docker group. We're going to type sudo user mod ag docker user. Okay, this adds our current user to the Docker group, allowing us to run Docker commands without needing sudo. So after adding the user, log out and back in for changes to take effect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit. I'm going to SSH again. You can see I just SSH again. Now let's move on installing Docker Compose, which makes managing multiple containers super easy. Docker Compose is essential because it lets us manage both the Nextcloud container and the database it needs with a single configuration file. We're going to type sudo apt get install while docker compose. Okay, it's installing. Give me a second, I will explain. I want to make sure everything looks perfect. So this installs Docker Compose, which allows you to define and manage multiple Docker containers using a YAML file, YAM file. With Docker and Docker Compose installed, it's time to configure our environment for Nextcloud. Let's create the necessary files. Let's go to the next step. Let's set up our workspace. We are going to create a folder for our Nextcloud setup. We're going to use mkdir. I'm going to /nextcloud and cd. Okay, Nextcloud. Okay, So these commands create a directory called Nextcloud. You can see in here, and moves into it, right? See, we jump in, we create account, and we use this CD so we can jump to the Nextcloud. Easy, right? I mean, remember I created another previous video about all these commands, so that's another command, so you can jump between directories. Good. Okay, now let's create a Docker Compose file that define our Nextcloud and database configuration. We're going to type nano docker compose.yml. Okay, this is the one I need some copy and paste, because I need to type in a different notepad and copy back here, because so I can, you know, audit and edit whatever the mistakes I have, so it's easy. So I always try to type in a notepad and then paste here. So I'm going to bring my notepad, I'm going to paste, and I'm going to explain. Okay, I'm going to copy paste in here. Yep. Okay, now I just paste. Now you can see in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this everything good. So everything looks good. The only thing you need to do here is you need to change your actually you need to remember that you need to change your root password, this one, okay, and your password with a secure password. After that we're going to save it. So I'm going to use my root password. I'm going to put the root password as today's year 2024, and I'm going to make sure you put a good, very strong password. This is for only demonstration, and I'm going to use MySQL password also 2024, and MySQL database Nextcloud, my user is Nextcloud. Make sure you take a screenshot on this one before you forget something, right? So everything looks good. I'm going to take a screenshot actually, because sometimes my memory is corrupted getting corrupted now these days, too many things on head. Okay, so I just took a screenshot, so because we need to know the password and we need to know the database, we need to know the username. So everything looks good, perfect. So let me go back all the way down. Everything looks good. So what I'm going to do is we're going to press Ctrl X. You can say save modified buffer, and what you need to do, you just type Y, just Y, and hit enter. Now is save, and now after save it's just automatic exit. Okay, great. Now we are ready to deploy Nextcloud using Docker Compose. Okay, I'm going to now it's time to bring our Nextcloud instance to life, right? We'll use Docker Compose to set everything up automatically. For that, we're going to type Docker Compose up -d. So this commands tells Docker Compose to start containers defined in the docker-compose.yml file. So the -d flags runs them in the background. Okay, we have a clear picture in here. So let's Docker download and create the containers. It will handle everything from setting up Nextcloud to creating the MariaDB database container. So once this process is finished, your Nextcloud instance will be running. So let's wait. So you can see pulled out complete. So probably this takes some time. So once this done, I'm going to jump in again. Okay, seems like everything installed. You can see everything's green checkbox, latest, and blah blah, everything done. Perfect. So to the next step is to access the Nextcloud. We need to open our browser and type the IP address and the port numbers. You will see the page. you will set up a setup page where we'll enter our database details. I told you to take a screenshot, so that's the time we need those credential and all the information. So let's jump into open a web browser, and I'm going to show you. Okay, let's jump into the web browser. To access the Nextcloud, open a web browser and type http your IP address of the Raspberry Pi, and after that 8080, that's the port number we need to use. So you can see IP address of your Raspberry Pi and the port number. Now you will get like this, create admin account. So I'm going to say admin, I'm going to put a password, and from here I'm going to use MySQL MariaDB. So database account is Nextcloud, which database account is Nextcloud. Database password I just enter 2025, if you remember, don't tell anyone, okay? And database name is Nextcloud. Nextcloud, yes. Database host, I'm going to type DB, and once you fill the details, click install, and that's going to be a magic. So make sure you type a good password. My password is 2024. Shh, don't tell anyone, it's very weak. So you make sure you create a database password. If you really want to keep this secure, type different password for different thing and save it to your password vault, save it somewhere else, so you have it, okay? Otherwise, if you remember, just type the two passwords, separate password. Don't keep one password to everything. Try to keep separate for cybersecurity reason, because of this demonstration I just show you. Okay, I'm not going to save that file. So we are in, baby. Okay, now we can, on the screen, Nextcloud is recommending several apps that you can install to enhance the functionality of your cloud setup. Here's a breakdown. A calendar helps you schedule work meetings and resync events with all your devices. Installing this will allow you to manage your schedule directly with Nextcloud and keep everything synchronized across your devices. After that, we can see checkbox is contacts, a tool to keep your contacts organized. This lets you store and manage contacts securely, keeping them in one place without leaking any private info. And after that, we can see mail is checkbox. This is all recommended apps. So simple email client which integrates with other Nextcloud apps like files, contacts, and calendar. This is great if you want to access your emails directly within Nextcloud. Nextcloud Office, a suite for creating, editing documents, spreadsheets, and presentations. Built with Collabora Online, it allows a collaborative documents editing similar to Google Docs. Next, we have Notes under Install Recommend Apps. This is useful for keeping quick notes or lists directly in your cloud. The last one is Talk. So a tool for chatting, video calls, screen sharing, and web conferencing. This app adds a communication layer to Nextcloud, perfect for teams and family members who want to secure communication tool. You can skip this. If you don't like it, you can skip, or if you hit this install recommend apps. So if you want to have full experience with enhanced features, so if you want that, click install recommend apps. So I'm going to click that. You can see it's circling. This will automatically install and enable all the check applications, making your Nextcloud environment more versatile. I recommend clicking on install recommended apps unless you have specific needs, as it gives you a great starting point with all the core features that make Nextcloud powerful and versatile. After the installation, you will be taken to your Nextcloud dashboard, where you can start organizing your private cloud, adding users, and configuring additional settings. Let's go ahead and click and see what we got here. So you can get a nice thing view, beautiful view, and we get a information here, a collaboration platform that puts your control, privacy, productivity, and we can see Nextcloud version here. It says what's new. You can click this or just click this one. Okay, so seamless integration with your devices, sync your files across your devices within the desktop and mobile apps, and connect your calendar and contacts. Nice. You have two apps, Google Play and Apple. You can install more about Nextcloud, extra more apps, get involved for large organization, Nexthelp, Nextcloud 9, introducing Nextcloud Hub 9. You can read more details on that. On social media, you can share this if you are eager to share. Nice. So we are in the dashboard. Alright, now we have Nextcloud up and running. Let's take it step further and set up a remote access so you can connect to your private cloud from anywhere outside your home network. For this, I will be using Remote.it. If you need help installing and registering Remote.it, check out my previous video where I cover the entire setup process. In this video, I'll show you how to configure the Remote.it for accessing Nextcloud remotely. So if you want to know Remote.it, what is Remote.it is, please check that video. I'll put on my description. That's also a very recommended video. Otherwise you have no idea what is Remote.it. If you know that Remote.it, that's fine then, so you can configure. But if you don't know about Remote.it, please check out that video. So how to configure, how to register free version. Let's jump in. Okay everyone, now I'm in their official website, www.remote.it. This is the website you need to go and sign up an account. So this is a free. If you want more devices, probably you need to pay, but you can check it out. I'm going to use the free version. So once you sign up, you're able to log into your dashboard. Now I'm totally in a separate environment. I'm remotely logging through my Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pi at home, and it's turned it on, and you can see it's online. But this machine I'm using from outside of my home network. Example, I'm working from office, so I log into my office computer and Remote.it, and I might use my username password, and I'm able to log in, and now I can see my Raspberry Pi is online. Now I'm going to show you the demonstration, but configuration part I'm going to do it later. Now, so what happened is, once you configure your Raspberry Pi, if you want to use the Nextcloud, so once you click here, you can see I configure for Nextcloud HTTP access and SSH. So what happened is, when you click connect, it's going to connect, and you can see 3 seconds connecting. Now it's connected. Once you click this launch, it will connect your Nextcloud. Actually, I forget the username password, so that's why I can't log in. This is totally separate from the environment, so I didn't save it, so probably I couldn't log in. But this is going to be okay, because you able to access your Nextcloud from different machine from over the internet. So if you go to a different country, you're able to access your Nextcloud. Now I'm going to show you how to configure your Raspberry Pi with the Remote.it. Let's jump into that. Okay, first of all, you log into the portal Remote.it, and now you need to edit your Raspberry Pi devices. Normally this the plus sign, click that and choose the Raspberry Pi in the device list. Click that one, and you have 3 options. I'm going with the first one, under remote access. I'm going to click that, and after that I'm going to copy this code. Let me see if I copy the correct. Nope, not that one actually. This one, copy command actually. So copy the command, and after that let's jump into our Raspberry Pi command prompt. Okay, so you can see I'm in my Raspberry Pi device. You can see the name of the device, Samurai, and I'm going to paste that link from the Remote.it. I just copy. It's going to install the agent. You can see just installing the remote agent pack for Arch 64. You can see everything looks perfect. Now let's jump into the portal. Now if you go to the devices, you will see this device because I already added, so it's not going to duplicate, just the same old one. So once you see your device under the list, probably you will have only SSH. You don't have Nextcloud HTTP access. What you need to do is just click this added service and go to the HTTP and added your information. You can see some example in here, so like that. So the one I create, I'm going to show you. If you go all the way down, I added the service host, service port, TCP, HTTP type. That's all you need to do. Okay. So once you did that, once you added the service, probably you cannot connect. I mean, you will get issues, but because you need to configure some of the configuration on the Raspberry Pi. So now we are done with the Remote.it part. Let's jump into our Raspberry Pi. I'm going to clear this and I'm going to show you the configurations. Before that, if I jump again to the Remote.it portal. Now normally when you click connect, take some time. So once you launch the site, this link is going to change all the time. So once you disconnect and connect again, this is going to be changed because it's the security purpose. Okay. Now when we do a configuration of the Raspberry Pi, it's going to be an issue. So that's why I want to clearly want to say that the configuration I'm going to do is totally different, because I'm not going to give this link to access, because this link is going to change all the time. For that, let's jump back to the Raspberry Pi. Now, normally to allow access from these changing domains, the endpoint, okay, we need to edit the config.php file in our Nextcloud setup. We'll use the wildcard so that any subdomain under rt3.io is trusted. If I go back, you can see in here this public endpoint always get changed. We're going to give access to this subdomain. So let's jump in again. We're going to do I'm going to copy and paste here, so I don't need to type everything. So we type sudo nano and configure php.file, and we are opening the configuration file to modify the list of trusted domains. This is where we'll allow our dynamic public endpoint. Now inside the config.php file, look for the selection called trusted domains in here. If you don't have, just type this part. Okay. So as you can see, I added a wildcard entry so that any subdomain from rt3.io is allowed. This is how it should look like. You can see from here to here. So make sure you type change your Raspberry Pi IP address also in here, and you need to put the port. If you want to change the port, just put the port here and the subdomain, so then it will allow. So once you have made the changes, exit the file, Control X. If you're doing the first time, you need to press a Y and press enter again to save that file. Okay, so that's how you configure the Raspberry Pi. And after that, once you jump in, then you can get this, go to the services and hit the connect button. So once it's launched, you can automatically launch. I block the pop-up. So once you click this one, so you're able to log into your Nextcloud from anywhere in the world, any computer. Okay guys, that's all for this video. If you have any questions, if you have any issues, please put on comments field, and I will see you on my next video. Thank you.